Hello, thanks for joining us today. I'm here today with George Cow of Edward Jones Financial Advisors. Good to see you again, George.
How you doing, Richard? Good to see you.
So let's start out. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in Arizona and anything about your family, anything you want to tell us.
So I'm a financial advisor, like Richard said. I've been in Arizona for about 10 years. Originally from Boston. So I'm a Boston Celtics and Red Sox and Patriots fan.
Yeah. I don't think you have that Boston accent, though.
No, actually, I grew up in the suburbs of Boston, so no Boston accent.
All right, great.
Yeah.
So, and you've lived in the East Valley all 10 years?
I have, yes. Yep. Been in Chandler since '09.
Excellent, excellent. So, how did you become a financial advisor? How long have you been an advisor? What brought you into the business?
Yeah, so great question. So actually, just kind of give you a little bit of background about myself. So I actually studied computer science and mathematics, and I actually had a dual degree in psychology as well. So, part of my thing was, I really wanted to be in artificial intelligence and building robots. But over time, I just realized, hey, that's not really what I want to do. And so I actually went and started working with consulting companies and technology companies. So really, for the first 20 years of my career, really has been about building tech, really cool tech. But I soon realized that during that actually I needed a financial advisor throughout the entire process, and I didn't have one. Yeah. And so why I got into the business really is because I want to be that person that I never had.
Exactly. Yeah. I think a lot of us realize it a little too late in life.
Yeah, and certainly myself included. I've certainly made my mistakes of making financial decisions. But I just wish that someone was there to be a good sounding board for myself.
Gotcha. So tell us a little bit more about your role as an advisor. Like, what's your range of services you provide?
So absolutely. So a lot of people say, think, advising is really just about investments, that we just buy stocks and whatnot. And that's a part of what we do. We primarily do four things. We help people to consolidate all their assets, because a lot of times people have their money, in different places. And it's not just their money. They probably have like a life insurance policy or annuity somewhere. So we help them to consolidate all their assets. We help them to grow their assets. And this is where the investment piece comes in. We help them to protect their assets. So a piece that a lot of times that people don't realize, that hey, you work so hard to accumulate this much and to save for your families. Well, what happens when something does happen to you? How is your asset protected? And lastly, we help people to pass on their assets. So a lot of times, we help develop the plans so that should something happen or it is time for you to go home. With the good Lord, that we can actually be able to pass that down.
Gotcha. With minimal tax consequences.
That's correct. Yep. So we always balance, benefits and tax liabilities.
Okay. So can you expound on that a little bit? Like, so if you have a client, they're going to work one-on-one with you, but Edward Jones has the support in the background, or how does that work?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of our infrastructure. So Edward Jones is a 20,000 person company, and so we have some really tremendous smart people in the back and to support us.
People like you and AI.
Me and AI, so perhaps even smarter than me, right? So people who just live and breathe just researching about the best investments possible. And so with that infrastructure and with that backing, we're able to then work closely with the individuals, with the families, to really understand their needs and to really get to know them really well, so that ultimately, with our knowledge and with all that backing that we have, to be able to personalize that for the individuals and their families.
Right. So it's not just a set investment formula for
across
the board.
Not at all. It is very individualized, and so when we work with families, we want to know you. We want to know who you are. We want to know about your families. We want to know how what drives you, what you're passionate about, and what your goals are ultimately, and help you to create a plan to a uniquely created plan to get you to that point.
Awesome. Yeah. Sounds great. It's one of the things I love about being a real estate agent. You really get to know your clients and their families. Absolutely. And make that connection. So you tell us any favorite stories? What's your favorite part of the business?
That's a really good question. I actually met a guy a couple of months ago. Actually, he's not a client of mine, but so I can actually tell the story because I think it gives a lot of good validation. He's actually close to retirement age, and in a couple of years he's going to retire. And he said, "Hey, I'm all set. I'm actually going to retire in a couple of years as a millionaire." And I said, "Oh, really? So tell me more. How that happened?" He said, "Well, I started working with my advisor about 20 years ago, and he devised a plan for me." And I said, "Hang on, time out, right? So 20 years ago, he devised a plan for you, and you stuck with the plan for these past 20 years." He said, "Yeah, I stuck with the plan." And granted, this guy is not, he didn't sell his business, he didn't win the lottery. He was just methodically and disciplined in his savings and following the plan. So 20 years later, he's retiring as a millionaire. Nice. And so that's a great story, a great testament to what we do, to be able to devise a plan for you, and we help you. It's not a one and done thing. We work with you on an ongoing basis to make sure that we stay disciplined about the saving strategy. So that 20 years from now, people can retire as millionaires or multimillionaires.
Yeah. So there's some accountability there, not just giving somebody a plan and letting them go on their own.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. So you said you lived about 10 years in the East Valley. Do you have any parks you love or restaurants or anything you want to tell us about the area?
Yeah, no, we love going to Tumbleweed. Especially when the kids were little, just going to Tumbleweed and the awesome play structure that they have over there.
Yeah, a lot of activities going on.
Yeah, and Chandler's awesome. Chandler Gilbert, both awesome. Because they continue to build these really cool parks with new facilities. Over by Higley and Queen Creek. There's a brand new park in Gilbert, and beautifully done. And still, they're still building out too. And so this Chandler Gilbert's is a great place to raise families. And so we love it here. We just love it here.
Right. Yeah. I love got a lot of great parks, and even the swimming pool parks. My kids love to go to use the high dive and the water slides and stuff that you couldn't get in your backyard.
That's right. That's right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah,
and we got a lot of those around here too.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great place to raise a family here for sure.
Yeah, excellent. So just to wrap up here, George, just tell us one other reason. If what's your ideal client? Like, why would a client contact you? What would be their main incentive to contact you, and why should they contact you instead of maybe some other advisor?
Yeah, no, good question. Because I think a lot of times, again, I was one of those individuals who said, "Hey, I'm okay. I'm smart enough. I can figure this out on my own," right? But when you're involved in some of those situations, you're emotionally involved, and so you don't think clearly enough, and so a lot of times. It would be great to have somebody who's not emotionally invested, who's invested, into your lives, but who can see clearly from amongst the fog, right? Of emotions.
Yeah.
And to be able to give you that.
You might not believe this, but that happens in real estate too. That people get a little emotional about selling.
Yeah, no, I know a little bit about that. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so just having an advisor to walk alongside you throughout the different stages in life is why people should have an advisor. And for me, because I've been there, and for me, it's really why I got into the business. And so for sure, I will definitely be your interest is definitely my best interest because I want to make it work for you.
Well, when I first met you, that's what appealed to me about you, George. I can just tell you're genuinely sincere, and you definitely care about your clients, and so that really shows through.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks again, George, for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
All right.
Yeah, nice to see you.